afternoon, Quilt Roadies, and welcome. It's been a little bit, and let me tell you, this month has just burst into the fall with activity every week. And so I'm a little bit on the tired side, but welcome. And if you're new to this channel, this is about quilting and embroidery and hand stitching, pretty much anything in the quilting world I have done. And so I hope you will give us a chance here, subscribe, and thumbs up. Yeah, we love our thumbs up. I appreciate it so much. So what's been going on? Well, this month is my birthday month, and if you're new to the channel, you may not know that I tend to celebrate the entire month. It is all about me for a month. And it started off with a bang. It just started off with a bang. So that was, and it's only partway through, and we're on the go again. So let me share with you what I've been up to. My girlfriend came for a visit because there were 3 of us that were going to the Crabapple Fall Retreat, which is Halloween themed. And that's what you will see at the end. Full disclosure, I am not a videographer. And G was not with me. So I took lots of snippets of Crabapple Hill, and that is located in Benton City, Washington. And hopefully G can work his magic to make it all kind of come together in a entertaining way. But let me start with the beginning. So Crabapple Hill is Meg Hockey's is the designer. It is her home base is in Benton City. She has on her property built a beautiful barn that houses all of her patterns and her shipping. It also houses her office and a classroom space, a kitchen, bathroom, and so everything that's Crabapple Hill is there at her home base, and then she lives further back from that. So the idea is that, like any stitching event, you have to be on the newsletter, signing up on the newsletter, so you get a notice when signups will be. And she does it 4 times a year. So she does like a Christmas, a spring, a summer, and a fall Halloween. And I knew we had done a couple girlfriends and I had done the spring one before, and this was to be my second opportunity to get in on the Halloween, which we love Halloween. So got on the newsletter, signed up, A-OK. Then had to make hotel reservations, and they give you a whole list when you're accepted into that. You get this whole list on where to where you can stay. You know, the brain's not firing as fast. So where you might stay in proximity to the daily retreat, and your couple of your meals are provided, or snacks every day, lunches every day, it's catered. And I have to say, you know, because of our lifestyle, which is vegan, I tend to pack food with me because I don't want to impose or cause this big brouhaha over how I'm choosing to eat. You know, I just don't want to cause. So I just tend to travel with food, because for me, going to these events is not about the food. But I told Meg, I said, I have to say, I did not starve, and I and I didn't eat any of the food that I packed. I brought it all back home. So they were most accommodating. They were most accommodating. They had show and tell, they had giveaways, you were instructed in, they had a project for you to focus on if you want, but she didn't care if you stitched on anything else, whatever you felt like doing. It didn't even have to be Crabapple Hill, because truly going to these things is about being in camaraderie with fellow stitchers, no matter what you're doing. But she gives you a project, she gives you some make and takes that are small, and I'll show you that. So you can't be bored. You can't be bored. Besides the fact that you're meeting people from all over. So my small table, each table has a table mom. And that is someone who's in the know and can get you or help you with any problem you're having during the event. So every table has a table mom, and Kim was ours. And then we had, there were 5 of us at our table. 2 had flown in from Chicago. Yeah. 1 had come up from Redmond, and then my friend and I met up here at my house and drove to Benton City. And the drive to Benton City from the Portland area is down I-84, which is all along the Columbia River, and so it is a gorgeous, gorgeous drive. You go by Multnomah Falls, you know, you've got the river traffic, yeah, and then when you cross the river into Washington, it's a whole different environment because you're going east. So Oregon is known as for its trees, its greenery, the lushness of Oregon. Then when you cross the river to go to the Tri-City areas, you're in what would be considered more like eastern high desert. So not a lot of trees, a lot of rolling golden hills. So it's a very different environment, and it was warm, which was nice. It was nice. What these events do for me personally is it makes me reflect on projects that I have going from a particular designer that I kind of have put on the back burner because it's like squirrel. I see something and I'm off and running. But let me just show you. Oh, I just have to tell you this. A friend of mine, Jennifer, who knitted my Enzo here, look at him. She sent him a Halloween fall outfit. He's got his little bag, and his sweater has a little pumpkin on it, and he's got his scarf. Isn't he adorable? Oh, Enzo, you're adorable. So you're all ready for Halloween. I need to put a piece of candy in his purse for him. Thank you so much. I just burst out laughing when I opened the mail. I just burst out laughing. And it is my birthday month. I had a wonderful time. Let me go in chronological order. This will be much better. So Crabapple Hill. It turned out that our table mom made the goodie bags for the tables. And so look at this bag. And then this was one of the make and takes, this little fob witches had. And then inside this bag that was sitting in a different fabric for everybody was sitting the project, that we were going to be, you could work on if you wanted to. And this project, here's the picture of the project. Now, the difference between the last time, which was a few years ago that I had been to Crabapple Hill, and this time was that initially Meg was using color crayon, laying down white color crayon, then shading with colored color crayon, sealing it, and that's how you got the color on your particular project. Now, which was very interesting to learn, she was using colored pencils, a specific kind of colored pencil. And if you sign up or you get a pattern from her, it explains it all. So this particular, I started working on my project. This particular project is with colored pencil. It has a different look than the color crayon. I am not, I don't know, I like both. I like them both, so I'm not totally 100%. I will not be putting the border around this, the fabric border, because my intention is I have so many Halloween projects that I want to transport them in my Yazzie bag. And so I am, once I get this all done, I'm going to bind it with some cute binding fabric, and I'm going to mount it on my Yazzie bag. Yazzie, the Yazzie bag company right now is at Quilt Market in Houston, but I just think this is going to be so cute on the bag. So this purple bag will become my Halloween bag, or fall bag, yeah. So that's my intention with this particular project. Let's see, what else is in there, huh? It was so much fun they had raffles the whole 3 days, and I did win one, and what I won was a hoop from Japan, a Cosmo embroidery hoop, along with floss, some wooden floss winders. So that was cool. In your little project thing, you got the pattern, and you got the floss you needed on a card. You got your 2 make and take, or 3 make and takes. The one make and take is this, it's a, like, I want to call it a plant stick, but it's a cat, a funny cat face that you put on a stick. I am in the process of making my needle book. So I have the felt for the inside of that, and I'm going to be stitching that up. And then, as I showed you, there's this little witch's hat fob. Yeah. And I have a charm. The inside of this bag, everything about this is so cute. This is so cute. So this was sitting at each of our tables, different fabrics, different bags. When you arrived, you got to pick. It was fantastic. It was so enjoyable. And the whole time you're there, naturally you have in your little pouch there your shopping list. So they have, as you will see later in the video, I walked around and took a video of the displays that were in there. Gorgeous, so inspiring. We saw new projects that will be coming out, so you'll want to get on the newsletter and website and sign up for notifications. It's something else to actually see something made in person, like you see the actual project, as opposed to just looking online at the patterns. That's the best part of actually being there, is actually seeing everything. And I did buy 3 patterns. I just love the way this one turned out. They had it framed, and I just really loved it. So that's on my to-do list. I love these pendants. These make great gifts, or scissor fobs, or bag fobs, gifts. Yeah, you know, what can I say? And then I saw this quilt, and although I know for a fact a friend, Kim, the Contented Stitcher on FlossTube, she adjusts her cross-stitch patterns, not necessarily stitching a whole pattern, but stitching the part she likes the best. And that has so inspired me in such a wide spectrum of ways, not only in my cross-stitch, but in my quilting world. And so when I saw this quilt, and I think I have my friend holding the quilt up in the video, so you'll see it. I loved it, but I know that I will be doing a different configuration. And this is called Home is Where My Flock Is. And it's sheep. I especially love this one where the sheep is smelling the flowers. You know, so it was really adorable. So yeah, I went into it saying I'm not buying another pattern. My girlfriend said, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck with that. So when I came home, there were some birthday greetings. So lovely. I mean, so lovely. I was blessed. I mean, my Halloween crew, all the people at this event sang me happy birthday. I know, I think I was quite red. But my friend Loretta, who was there with her daughter, gifted me a Crabapple Hill drinking mug. Look at that. And what's so great about this color is it matches my pink stitching jewelry box. So I'm going to be color coordinated. Thank you, Loretta. It was so great meeting you. It was so great meeting you. And that's part of it, is that you get to meet all these people that you've passed, like you pass on the internet, you pass in Instagram and Facebook, and you respond to each other's pictures and you encourage and stuff, but when you get to actually meet somebody, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's amazing. So when I got home, I did receive a beautiful card from my friend Marilyn, and this is that, what do they call it, paper, it's a paper, twirling paper, and I loved that. This was from my friend Sandy up in Canada. Look at that. Big, big poppies. Yeah. And so I'm continuing my birthday celebration, because when I came home, my sister flew in, and bless her heart, she threw me a birthday party, which, you know, I've never had a party like that. And my friend Robin was her sous chef, and we just, my daughter-in-laws brought tables over and chairs and set up the backyard. We made a huge feast, and all the people I love, you know, it's humbling. It's humbling, and yeah, I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed, and I'm so grateful for the life I'm leading now. Yes. My friend Robin on FlossTube on Stitch Roadies, I'll show you the other thing that she made me. But here I am showing you this candy dish. She is a clay artist. She hand molds clay and designs. And look at that dish. Is that not? I just love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. And we were, you know, one day of the retreat, you're there from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And they tell you right from the get-go, you can come and go as you want. You can go to quilt shops, antique shops, wherever you want to go. And so we decided, Robin, Tammy, and I decided that we were going, and that's the other thing, Tammy, who is now my friend Tammy, our friendships were intertwined. She stitches with a lot of people that Robin and I have stitched with, so it was like, oh, like old friends meeting up. But we went to antique stores, and I found this adorable little container. It's wooden. And you know, remember toll painting? It's so cute. So that had to come home with me. Yes, most definitely that had to come home with me. So when I got home, I knew that I had some Crabapple Hill projects already, for years, already in the works, because I love it. And like any squirrel, I'm running around starting a new one before I finish the old one. So I thought I would share the three that I have going right now, because, yeah. So, you know, my superpower is enabling. Let me tell you, I was totally enabled all weekend. So this one is Broomhilda's Midnight Ride, and this particular project had no coloring on it. You didn't color, only if you wanted to, but the project itself, Meg hadn't colored any color crayon or pencil, and that's this one here. And so this is where I am at on that. And the way I prep this, is that I use the miso table to trace with the finest tipped micron brown pen, and I trace the pattern onto my fabric. Then I iron the Pellon product, SF101, onto the back, so that if I do any carryover, it doesn't show through. And so it really is a make and take. And with, you know, like this particular project is all back stitched. That's what the instructions say. But you can do any stitch you want. And so I have all the accoutrement, the bling that goes with that pillow making. Now, just to show you how I've had these projects for a long time, and so how I've transitioned, and how Meg has, as a designer, transitioned. So she originally was embroidery, then using the color crayon system in order to lay down color, and now colored pencil. And she teaches you all that, how she does it. So this particular project was called Witch's Boot. Now, taking note from my friend Kim, you know, when I started some of these projects, I know it sounds like I'm making an excuse for myself. I am not. I am being creative, just so you know. When I started some of these projects, I lived in a different house, and we do tend to create items to decorate our home based on that home. This home, totally different ball game we're going on here. And I don't have as many places to hang quilts, big quilts at all. And the walls, and I'm sharing wall space with all the other artistic people. You know, if I was married or gave birth to boring people that weren't creative types, I could have this whole house to myself. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, I have ended up in a family where with a bunch of other creatives in their own genre, and so I have to share space. I know, it seems like somewhat of a hardship. Yeah, I know, and some of you are saying, get over it. I get it. But so I have had to adjust the way I finish things. And so in this particular case, I saw this quilt hanging in the barn, and I thought, I have no place. I have no place for that big. So I am going to finish my embroidery here, and then I'm going to do that like checkerboard trim, and then a plain border around there, and not do all these pieced blocks or this big border out here, because I literally, I mean, my sister went through all my quilts, and thank goodness she is taking some of them so that I have room for more folded quilts in a closet. So when I started this, and this shows you the progress, or the progression, I should say, it shows you the progression of my process. I discovered a product called Transfer-Ease, and it was a washable sheet that you could put through your printer, and it still exists, you can still do it, to lay down a pattern on your fabric without having to do all the tracing. So I tried it, and then when you're done with all your embroidery, you kind of rip away the excess, and then you soak it in cold water, and you rub it, and it dissolves, and you know, then you hang your piece up to dry. So this I will not be doing again. The Transfer-Ease, I think I like the tracing with the Micron pen, because I can color before I even start stitching, which appeals to me. So it's kind of like whatever you feel like. So in this particular case, like if you see on this pattern, the pumpkins are colored, and she's laid down some color crayon. This was old enough pattern that I do believe this is color crayon. And you can't do it with transferees until you're all done with the embroidery, which means then you have to be, you know, kind of careful. You know, you have to be careful because you're going to be laying down the color and then paper towel and then heating with an iron. So it's just a process that's the other way around. So here's my on the transferees. So you can see that there's this, I ripped some of it away, but there's this paper here. See, my finger's underneath it here. And I have to get rid of all of that before I can color my jack-o'-lanterns. But now I'm really motivated to work on these projects. So that is one that I had in my work pile. The other one that I have in a project box that I have not started, but had transferease paper in here to do that, and I had printed, see, here you go, this is what the front of the transferease looks like if you wanted to try it. And so I printed on my printer, you put the paper in your printer, and then you print it onto the transferease. So this is, the transferease is printed. Now I would peel this webbing material off of the freezer paper and then stick it onto my fabric. And then I'd be ready to embroider. I don't know, I hate to waste the transferease, so I might go ahead, since this particular project, which is over the hill, over the river and through the woods, it's so beautiful. This particular project is so beautiful. It has no coloring on it, on this particular project. So I might go ahead and use the transferease. But what I did decide to do is, again, no one's the boss of you. You get to do whatever you want with a pattern. I did decide that I am only going to do 2 rows. So I'm going to do this script row over the river and through the woods, this row of embroidery. I'm going to do this row of piecing, but I'm going to bring this row across the top here and not stitch this row. Oh, and I purchased this at So Many Quilts in Bend, and they are closed. Yeah, because I had decided, here's where the sandcastle fabric is. I had decided to do this on sandcastle, the embroidery, on the sandcastle fabric, which is already kind of quilted. And you couldn't see through it to trace it, so the transferease probably is a good option for that. So now I'm excited. I'm all hyped up again about Crabapple Hill. And isn't that the way it goes? It's like you go there, you go to these events, and you are so excited about everything you are, you know, everything going on. All things Crabapple Hill. And we met so many wonderful people. I can't tell you that truly, yeah, I did get a little, I got my little witch's hat fob done, and half of my needle book, and I did get the coloring and part of the stitching done. So in the scheme of things, I got more done than I usually do, but it was more about the connection. It really was about the connection. So then the trip home we went home, my sister arrived, and I had a wonderful birthday party. It was like a real party. I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like Sally Fields, you know. So, yeah, so we had a party, and my cousin and his family came over. My sons and their families came over. All of my grandchildren were here. Girlfriends were here. So, yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. And so now the journey continues the rest of the month. You know, if you've been here before, you know I'm celebrating all month long. And so we continue the celebration as we go along. Well, I hope you'll hang in there and watch the rest of the video. It's absolutely going to stun you, no doubt. And think about it. Get on the mailing list. Dream. Even if you don't pull the trigger on going, dream, because dreams are the first step to our journey, and we all need them. We all need them. So enjoy the rest of the video. You know I love you guys, and we shall see you down the road.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Sorry, I don't know any of you, but I had to say it.
So we just ask that you take your name tag. There's going to be a pink ticket on it. You're going to keep that ticket through the whole entire retreat.
How are you? What are you? Yeah, thank you. Oh, yeah. I gotta take a picture of that cabinet for Audrey. Yeah, she would love that with my phone.
Show and tell.
Okay,
That's beautiful.
so I did it, and then what I did instead of doing fusible fleece, I did the soft and stable to give it a little bit more body. And because I believe if you're going to have flowers, you also need the seed packets.
Beautiful.
Over a chair.
That is beautiful. And then instead of using, because I didn't want to take it to farmer's market, since it's a project bag, I got the blue for the fabric. And it's got my superstition that I've got.
Oh my goodness.
Do you have lace on the front of that?
No, it's just a zipper. And then it kind of here, so you can put like your thread and stuff in there.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, and then I think there's a pocket on this side too. So if you, in the middle of a pattern, you've also got a bookmark. So this is a bienni pattern,
Of course.
and so yeah.
Beautiful.
I got it off as shabby fabric.
Okay, yeah.
And so I can't remember. I guess I should have written that down. But it's in the same line, it's just one in blue and one in pinks and purples.
That's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Who's next? Hey, Mary. Boy, I sure hope I took that.
Oh, no way.
The first one is this, the February Stitch a Day. I was trying to decide what to do with it, and all of a sudden this pillow just came to mind, so it went into a pillow.
Beautiful. That is pretty.
The next thing I brought was, so I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old granddaughter, and we took them along with our girls' trip this year. So I quickly made 2 of these.
Oh, my goodness.
And with this bunny, I wanted more than the French knots, so I did the turkey stitch.
Oh, how cool.
First time ever doing a turkey stitch. 2 bunnies. But I did, you know, all the little...
Wow.
So I did 2 of these at a time, and my husband came home one day and he says, "What's this yarn stretching down the hallway?" I said, "Well, that was my, it had clips, so it was holding it like in the window." And all strung down the hallway. Okay. These have been sitting around for years, the stitching all done. So the last couple of days, I put them together the way I had done several of these for other people. I never finished my own. And these are not yet finished. These are just the, I still need to put them in quilting. So these will have ties to hold the curtains back.
Oh, that's neat. Oh, that is.
Would you mind turning
Or
much
the
forward?
fabrics to,
Oh, come forward a little bit.
Yeah, they're missing.
Thank you.
so this is the fabrics to coordinate with the season.
So pretty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll have little ties on them. I haven't got that far.
So cute.
That is cute.
My goodness, how creative. Those angels.
This last one, I got the pattern in Las Vegas at a cute little quilt store there when I went with my husband. He went to some conference or something, and I went shopping. And so I stitched them up, and they have been sitting around for years. And I had started it, and when I pulled it out to finish it, I thought, I remember thinking I don't want to do all those little points. And I had started something else, and I couldn't remember what I started. So I unstitched it all. Lots of cross stitching. And then went back and did it the way the pattern said.
Oh my gosh.
So, where's Tom? That's pattern 283 if you're... So, and I just used, I didn't have enough of, I wanted something more than just this as the binding, and I didn't have enough of anything else, and I wanted things that were in there. So it's these two.
Beautiful.
And this has been hanging, I finally have a spot on my wall that I hang quilts, and this has been hanging there for a while, and my granddaughter loves to come and point out all the balls.
That is beautiful. Gorgeous.
And I have so many more of the things my husband
Need the
said,
embroidery for that.
"You're not taking all of it, are you?" There is no way I could do it all.
Oh, wow, look at that. remember.
You have that one? You do, don't.
This is your own book.
Yeah, it's free ocean on us.
How cool. Yes, you're springy.
So I have a bag that I made. I have no idea who it's by. I found a tutorial on YouTube that you made this. And so this is the first time I made a little bag like this, and it keeps all my supplies for this in here.
Woo-hoo, zippers and all.
This is what it looks like. Took my time. It was one of those things where I don't want to mess it up, so I did just a little bit every day. And it worked out, so I was pretty happy. It's got a zipper front and everything. So, and then I was on a retreat a couple weeks ago, and I started making, these are called runaround bags by somebody. But they're just really cute, quick little bags, and I made it, some like this. Of course, I have a granddaughter, so I made her one, and I was trying to make, others. So I made those real quick. And then I have one whole block completed. I'm getting there. And then, but I do have this one, and I decided not to make it into a quilt, but it's going to be a wall hanging. Yeah, I was pretty happy how it came out. So this was kind of like a big project.
That's cider, that's apple cider.
Yeah, I can't wait to finish it. I didn't want to quilt it because then it would pack easier with.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
That was expensive. I was here, I got the thing, and I made a bag with the crabapple. And I just have the top.
You guys gotta step out this way, just step
Oh,
here,
sorry.
pretty please.
So this was the bag. That was the bag I made. And then I just got the All right.
Like really quick little stitcheries, and I didn't know what to do with them. They're little ghosts, so I made little logos.
So cute. That's cute.
And then this is my non-mag stitchery.
Oh, quick, hold it up.
Oh my goodness, it's
I had actually had an aunt who had a couple of these already done, and then I found there was Etsy had them. And so I made them all, and I tried to make them look vintage or older like hers, and then the rest I just kind of pieced things, I kind of store. This is my design.
That's cute.
Got a tickle too? And then going with a traditional neck. This is Noah's Journey.
Pretty colors.
And I did the zebras on the back. Yeah, I felt like it was water, like the arcs up on top of the water. And they're What's special about it?
Lake County.
Oh, and I got first place in the Lake County Fair.
No big deal.
Oh, and if you look, I found some boutiques with animals, so there's like little animals hidden in the water.
That's
And then
amazing.
taking back February stitch-alongs. I've done a few of them, and then this one, I decided to take them and put them into a quilt. So this is not this year's, but last year's, the houses, the birdhouse.
And the house, there's a house there.
Yeah, and I added a couple of different, because my mom had just built her new home after my dad passed, so I put her house in there. This is hers whenever I get it looking.
Very vintage.
She said we could bring something non-sticker related and stuff.
We will put you on the list of do not return.
My dad, my stepdad went on hospice this year, so I was talking to my mom and I had to be at his house. So it's always been my dream to learn how to knit, and it's really a big dream. But anyway, I made this project, and I was so excited with it. It's like a second project. I made a shawl for Tama last year for Christmas. So I just love this.
You love to knit too?
I'm learning, so I just wanted to, I finished it.
Beautiful job, and then over here this way.
Now, is that something that you sell in your shop thing?
I'm working on that. The lady that I had the booth with, she passed away.
Say, this is my first time with Meg, so I'm bringing other things. I like to do Sue Spargo stuff. So this was my
Squash Squad.
yeah. Well, I was going to also say it saved my bacon during COVID is what this is. She did this as every week you got a different block, and you worked on that block all week. You got different stitches, and what was kind of fun is I could keep up with most of it during the week, because I had nothing better to do. I had a good time doing this one, and just after that, then we got a block of the month, and so this is, and it's just been published, so I can finally show it to anybody that cares. So this is Rooted.
What's it called, rooted?
Yeah. Rooted. It does, it even says it on the label. So, yes, it's Rooted.
And talk about it all.
Barb and I have been really best friends. She's the one that got me started into quilting, and this is one of the first ones I ever really made, and it was one of your patterns, and it's been hanging in my sewing room for probably 20 years now. And it's really, it's Bluebird.
Yeah, it's called.
Yeah, Bluebird.
Bluebird, but,
I believe it's pattern 273.
and do you remember you're right up there with Susan Branch?
That is Susan Branch
Yeah, her
fabric.
fabric, yeah,
Yeah.
so I had to put that in here because she's all into teacups.
Finish things. I just get a
I love that fabric.
So it started out white, and I didn't like it, so I soaked it in tea for 2 weeks. Wow. That's what I did.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh my goodness.
Love it. How cool. Yeah. Love your fabric. Yeah, she's good. She's